Well, what can we say about yesterday? Jesus. Anyway, we're just ticking off games now. We're just ticking off till we get to the final. I think that's the wrong thing that we should be doing. Right, before we jump into the video, I'm going to talk about... This is unbelievable to think about. On the 15th of May 2008, Tommy Burns died just at the age of 51. A few days later, Celtic went to Tannadice and beat Dundee United, and I'm going to talk about that game because it was a brilliant night. We went to Tannadice and we beat Dundee United. A Van Goor of Hesselhink goal, and the helicopter came down. It was either going to go up to Aberdeen where the Huns were playing, or come down to Tannadice where Celtic were playing. And there was lots of fans that night tried to get in the away end, and I actually had a ticket for the away end, and I remember putting my zip right up in my coat to make sure that nobody could see that I had a Celtic top on, tying my scarf around my waist, and there were Celtic fans trying to walk in with Celtic tops on, and they were just getting punted, and it was nuts because they had the sort of the casuals of the Dundee United end, and it was right in beside the goals, so you know what side it was on. And it was complete madness before the game, and I was like, Jesus God, they find out you're a Celtic fan, you're going to get done in here. But they had the moment of silence, and I was right at the corner flag, and I always remember when the minute silence started, the stewards came down the stair, and I jumped over the fence and ran up the stairs into the Celtic end, and there was an empty seat, and there was a big chap sitting in the seat, and there was an empty one. I said, can I sit there just till the game kicks off and if the boy comes in? Nobody came the whole game for that seat, and the big chap that was sitting next to say that seat was meant for you, and obviously went on to win the league. And I was thinking about it because that's 2008, that's 15 years, and it's just, time flies by, absolutely flies by. Anyway, moving on, we're going to listen to the Ange and Callum McGregor interview yesterday, and we'll do a sort of live reaction to that, and then I'm going to talk about Mikey Johnston. Mikey Johnston's been making headlines for lots of reasons, and I'm going to read out the interview for him for that also. And as it's getting near at the cup final, Caley Thistle boss Billy Dodds has says that special things can happen in finals. So first of all, let's listen to the Callum McGregor interview and see what we think of that.
Yeah, really annoyed with that. First half, we're so far off the pace. We lose two really poor goals, and we give ourselves a mountain to climb after 3 minutes. We get ourselves back on terms, and then we give away another poor goal, which then...
Got to pause that. You can actually see Callum's hurting at that result yesterday, and I hope that he relayed that to the players, that it was unacceptable.
Obviously they're happy to sit in, and you got to probe and try and get back into the game. Second half was a lot more like us, probably back to getting the job done. So that was good in that sense, managed to get a point, but we can't start games like that. We can't give ourselves so much work to do, so we need to learn quickly for that. There's 3 really important games to go, yep. And we need to be at it now.
And it was noticeable in the end that the tempo did go up. Can you put your finger on why it seemed a little bit slower in pace through the first 45?
Yeah, like you said, I think we don't start the game well. Probably a number of different reasons, but second half, we then look like a team who wants to win the game and go and take the game to them, and obviously we're in trouble at that point. So we play with everything, and that's the way we have been playing. So we need to get back to that for 90 minutes.
And although I sense your frustration, you did lead by example with that equaliser. It was a fine goal, and perhaps we might have just stole it in the end.
Yeah, you think when we get the equaliser we can go on and get the winner with a couple of good chances, but we don't put them away. But like I said, we then give ourselves so much work to do. When you're chasing the game like that, it becomes frantic, and get a bit more uptight and tense in the final third, and maybe lose a little bit of quality. So if we can cut out the mistakes and give ourselves a good platform in the game, which we've done all season, then that sort of finishing becomes a little bit easier. So like I said, we have to go now and get back to showing the team that we are.
Right, there's a lot of people were saying, and especially online, and I know that going online, I mean, that's one of the reasons that I didn't do a video yesterday, and I tend not to do videos after losses, because the immediate reaction is always a negative reaction rather than sitting back and looking at it. There was a lot of people saying that Joe Hart's done. It's one of those things. there was a lot of players had off days yesterday. I think a lot of players, they've won the league, and it's okay in other leagues where you can sit back and we've seen teams do it over the years. Team will win the league and then they'll take their foot off the gas because they're thinking, one, there'll be players thinking for the summer they're not wanting to get injured in case they get a move. Two, there'll be players thinking, right, I'm wanting to not get injured so that I've got the cup final and I get to the cup final and I can get a play in the cup final. And three, they're just fucking shite. Let's face it. I don't know. I don't want to go down the road in this video. Should we really be looking at a replacement for Joe Hart? When you look at some of the bigger games, people were saying, a few boys saying in the pubs yesterday, we've shipped in more goals in the last 2 games. That's 5 goals in 2 games than we've shipped in the whole of this year, near enough. It's hard. How much are we missing Carter Vickers? How much are we missing Alistair Johnston? I really hope that Alistair Johnston's back. It's okay having this big squad, and it's fine having these players be able to come on as impact players, but let's face it, some of them are just aren't good enough.
And in these 2 quick games that come up, an ideal chance to pick up back up again.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You get another game in 3 days' time. That's a good thing about football, is it always gives you a chance to try and rectify the result previous. So we have to recover now and go full steam for Wednesday and then Saturday.
Right, so that was Callum McGregor. I'm going to quickly jump over to the Mikey Johnston because he was talking about the fact that there's 3 games. Now, Mikey Johnston's been talking to, I think it was the Mail Sport, and he's had a fantastic career. Well, he's not really had a fantastic career. He's had a career that's been laden with injuries, and people said that he's not Celtic class. But Mikey Johnston spoke to Mail Sport and he said that talking about his season so far in Portugal. And this is what he said. He said, the lifestyle is good here and it's a bit less stressful, if I'm being honest, and I'm enjoying it. And obviously the football is great. It's a really high standard. This is the best run of games I've had in my career so far. At the start of the season in Scotland, I found myself sometimes at Celtic. You play on a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and my body couldn't handle that. When I was younger, when I first came into the squad, I was just a kid. People forget that. Mikey Johnston was really... And let's not forget, Mikey Johnston's Celtic through and through. He said, I wasn't developed enough yet. I just had the talent. But this move is what I needed for a few years. This is interesting. He says, I could have gone to a championship club in England or other clubs in Scotland. But I didn't want to. I wanted a fresh start and a chance to build my name up again. Thankfully, it seems to have worked. I've tried to learn about Portuguese. I totally get you there. It's probably harder. It's harder than Spanish and all that. I felt I had to spread his wings a bit. If I'd gone somewhere else in Scotland and I had a bad game, they would have said I wasn't good enough. But if I'd had a good game, their action would be, well, he should be doing well. He came from Celtic. I'm out here. Listen, this is a cracker. I'm out here and I'm playing in a bigger league, doing well. So hopefully that means a bit more. The word that you often hear from coaches is, rather than Johnston's case, that he's really good at Celtic. He would get thrown into a big game. Portugal, going on, right? So, I've improved as a player here. He says, as a confidence in his own body and confidence is increased. He goes on to say, he says, I'm playing teams here like Sporting, Benfica, Porto. They're all Champions League clubs and they've done well. So I know I can handle a high level. That's given me confidence about my rhythm. A lot of people forget that. I mean, you've got these teams that he's playing on a weekly basis. Let's face it, they're a bit better than your Inverness. And it's a different style of football. This having to go at Celtic now because we've won the league and everybody thinks that if you stop Celtic from playing, you'll be able to stop them winning and then sit back. Or you get the other side where teams just sit back and they just don't cross the halfway line. It's boring. You'll not have that in Portugal. He's basically went on to say that if he had been at the bottom half of the Portuguese league, nobody would have noticed, he says, but luckily they're tucked right up there in a bid for a European berth, so that's good to see. He says that players have left this club and went to Bayer Leverkusen for 17 million, Sporting Lisbon for 7 million, so a lot of clubs look at this clubs. More boys are now going abroad from Scotland, he says, and that's one bit of advice I'd give any young football player. If you're a young football player and you're coming through at Celtic even and you're not going to make it, have a look outside Scotland, because Well, for one reason, the stupid Brexit thing now, where you can only go abroad for 90 days. You'll get a visa and residency a lot easier if you're a football player and you're actually playing in the country. Anyway, that's a whole different video matter. Right, tell me your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the game yesterday? What do you think about the whole Joe Hart thing? What do you think about Tommy Burns 15 years ago last week? How time flies. Anyway, remember like it was yesterday. Have Celtic just given up the last couple of games? Have they just got too comfortable? Tell me in the comments. On that note, this video's went on rather longer than usual. I apologise for the long video. I know you usually like the little quick videos that we do on the Celtic News channel, but I felt we had to get these ones out the way today. And the Mikey Johnston one, I think Mikey Johnston could be looking to maybe try and stay in Portugal. I think it's a brilliant move for him. For me, I would do it all day long. Obviously, you've got the weather, the sun, the lifestyle. I would advise any player, if you're not going to make it big in Scotland, get out of Scottish football. Do you know what I mean? It will hold you back in your career. There's been a few boys left Celtic and went abroad, and they kind of get forgotten about because they're abroad. But it is what it is. So on that note, we're still top of the league. We're still looking down on the Rangers. Oh, Billy Dodds. I nearly forgot that actually. Billy Dodds says anything can happen in a final. See, that's because the videos went on for that long. He reckons Inverness Caley Thistle will need a once in a lifetime display to stop Celtic wrapping up a treble in the Scottish Cup final. Well, he says with the absence of injured Cameron Carter-Vickers hasn't helped Celtic's cause. He says in the league, but they keep struggling along, and they've got 2 matches to go before us. Anything can happen in the final. Let's look back to 2000, 2003, and then 2015. Anything can happen. Oh my goodness. Don't even think about it.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up